I was lying on the ground that looked like our sky. It was blue and white, and it was soft and shining. I could see the clouds drifting under me, and it really felt like I was floating on a soft cloud. Everything was upside down. When I looked up, I saw the tree roots creating a thick roof. Then somebody yelled, "Welcome back, Mrs. Sorne." A little creature with big teeth was smiling at me. And I smiled back because I knew I was home again. I was visiting Sorne, a fantasy world I had created for a children's book I was writing at that moment. At first, Sorne was a place where the story happened. And it was a happy place for me because everything was upside down. Everything was possible. My weaknesses turned into my strengths. And all you needed there was your true gifts and the ability to use them to help others. But soon Sorne became something so much more. It became a free zone where I could get my most impossible ideas for my businesses and where my strong imagination could show its best potential. So while I was lying there, I got an idea. I want to bring this exact same experience to children, escapism for all senses. You know the feeling that you are really in another world. I came back to reality and I instantly started to design this idea. And I jumped into my role as a business lady. Well, at first it sounded like out of this world. But eventually, the idea formulated into a new innovative book and story concept for children, and it was added to my company portfolio. So a business idea created in a fictional world. Yes. I realized that I had found a way to mold the utopia into a new reality. After that, I started solving problems and creating these new ideas in fictional worlds. And it was normal to me, but it was not something I could reveal in my professional life. So in a way, I was a business lady with a secret. Because long time ago, I wanted to share some of my exceptional ideas. But soon I found out that the world just wasn't ready yet. Because my ideas, they were either shut down by this stunning silence, or I got these interesting comments like, "Well-being at work will never be a business trend, Miia." I remember thinking then that those were really powerful ways to stop people from sharing their ideas. And the resistance continued when I founded my companies around these ideas created in fictional worlds. And the best and the worst comment was that you will never see the day that this product is accepted in our field. Just give up. And that was the lowest point in my career. I was sitting in my car, just overwhelmed, and I could only hear those words, "Give up." But I knew I had two options. Well, either I could give up, or I could take this experience as a power spike to my success and make it a hell of a story. And well, standing here today, you can guess what I chose. Because I was not going to give up. But I knew I needed something to back me up. Some theory, studies, people, examples, whatever. So I started to research. And finally, a positive realization struck. I found people in the world with similar ideas. I was not alone. And I definitely was not the first one. In 1865, Jules Verne wrote A Man's Voyage to the Moon. And it was over 100 years before it was realized. And in 1968, Arthur C. Clarke imagined tablets with digital newspapers for this famous movie called Space Odyssey. And in the 80s, the movies Back to the Future, they showcased virtual reality glasses. And there were dozens of examples like this. And I was so excited. But then I found out that even Google, Microsoft, and Apple, they were already using science fiction writers to bring something new into their business through storytelling. So some companies were already appreciating new ideas and methods. And I kept asking, why not all? Science fiction and design are already working together in the hands of the pioneers. And science fiction and technology, they are creating innovations together. Even though it was encouraging to know that I was on a right track with my thinking, but there was still something bothering me. I was asking myself that do we need to be exceptional to have exceptional ideas? I had been speaking publicly about the use of hidden individual talents and the potential of the backstage heroes. You know, the people who work behind the curtains in companies. And I had seen the amazing ideas different people had. So I knew we didn't need to be science fiction writers. We didn't need to be Nobelists or futurists to use this method of visiting fictional worlds and creating ideas in them. Because we all have ideas. How many of you have ever imagined a product or a service, not doing anything about it, but when you have seen it on a market, you have said, "That was my idea." Please nod your head if you know what I mean. Exactly. Because we all are creative and we all have imagination. Still, some of us say that I'm not innovative or I don't have a rich imagination. But what if they found out that they did in a fictional world where they could be whoever they wanted to be without any restrictions? You could be a world builder and you could find surprising answers to hard problems. Because visiting fictional world, it allows us to explore new services and products without any restrictions of money or technology, without restrictions of our fears or these walls, literally without constraints. What if we here created a group of different expertise and we used this method? Could we even find solutions for world problems? The biggest risk is that we might not. But the possibility is that what if we could? And would even being part of this creation process and the feeling of being heard, maybe for the first time, make a difference itself? Because if we use the same methods we have used before, we tend to get the same results. And if we want things to change, we need to do things differently, right? I was living with that secret, but at that time I knew I was not alone. So I decided to tell the truth. I combine business and fiction, and I'm an escapist by heart, I told people. And this time, I did not get any ironical sneers. Well, as much, but people were interested, and they wanted to explore this possibility. But you know what? I could still sense the fear in them. The fear of participating publicly. The fear of sharing exceptional ideas. And even the fear of getting these ideas. Why are we so afraid? And what changed us? And what is the exact moment when our natural escapism starts to fade and the realism starts to dominate? Have you ever seen a spark in a child's eye who creates these never-seen-before machines or solves problems with no barriers? One day, my 10-year-old son came home from school, and he told me this scenario he was thinking about. Space zombies have attacked the world, Mom, and only the strongest ones have survived. And I imagined this suit that would make me survive this dystopia. And as an innovator, as an escapist, I was so excited, so I yelled, "My boy!" And he explained every little detail. Listen to me. I created this survival suit where the core of communication is a new kind of wireless console game machine that is integrated into that suit. And I'm also cultivating eatable peas and seeds inside my plumpy jacket using my body temperature and my water-based heating system that uses the console game machine. And I integrated everything I needed into that suit, Mom. I have a chair, I have swords, well, of course, and I have a reflector spray that banishes the zombies. And I have a traceable finger sensor that shows other survivors where I'm at. And he was excited. Yes, amazing, isn't it? And I was excited. And without any restrictions, he told me that somebody had invented a pill that makes our body work normally without any food or water. So I asked him, why was he cultivating those eatable peas and seeds then? They are candy, Mom, treats. And I was like, yeah, well, of course, candy. And even though he was imagining things mostly without restrictions, there were a couple of sentences that revealed that the process of realism had started to intervene. But the spark was still so strong, and he was so proud. I told him we needed to continue the next day, and you know what he told me. Okay, I will continue this creation process in my sleep. Is this spark still inside us, inside you? I dare to say it's there. We just need to learn how to use it again. And yes, you can do it without losing your credibility as a professional. Hey, even Einstein said he had imagined that he was riding on a ray of light, and there he got his idea for the relativity theory. It's not that serious, right? Today, we are creating new realities through immersive services and products. And with the help of artificial intelligence, we are creating these bots that have conversations with real customers. So I was thinking, if that space where that conversation is held is something else than reality, can we really define the best answers for the bots in our normal world with restrictions? Or could it be wise to use fictional worlds and storytelling to create these intelligent conversations where the bots could suggest the client something they didn't even know they needed help with? We are using virtual realities and augmented realities in professional use as well as in entertainment. So again, could fictional worlds and storytelling build a bridge between the escapism and the realism so that we would not escape life, but we would escape those constraints that block our creativity? The sooner we realize that business and fiction is a really powerful combination for the big companies as well as small, the sooner we get new possibilities and new results. All it takes is your pioneer attitude, to be ready to give it a chance and show example. Are you ready to give it a chance? Put your hands up and say yes. Yes. Let's do it again. Are you ready? Yes. Yes. Amazing. Thank you. Because all you need is 3 things. You need a goal, something to work with. Then you need a fictional world where you can do your thing. I can lend you mine if you want to. And then you need some Finnish SISU to implement those ideas into reality. Right? And you don't need to be afraid. Because in the world of escapism, there are no mistakes. It is a journey of discovering new things and sparking new ideas. It is about the journey of making a difference. It is about the spark in your eye. And in the end, it is all about you. Thank you.